Let's talk a little association, shall we? In a matchup of the NBA elite, Thunder Celtics face off tonight, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. We could see these teams play each other in June on ESPN Bet. They are the most likely NBA Finals matchups at plus 185 odds. It would be the Thunder's first finals appearance since 2012, while the Celtics are looking for their third trip in 4 seasons. The Thunder have completely dominated the Eastern Conference this season, going 21-1, including a 13-point win over the Celtics in January. OKC is on pace to have the best win percentage against a conference in NBA history. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jason Tatum are the fourth pair of players to play each other while averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists on teams with records this good and this late into the season. The previous 3 matchups all featured MVP winners. And coming to us live from TD Garden is our NBA reporter, Tim Bontemps. All right, Tim, it's only March, but this game is giving June NBA Finals. So what is the mood in the arena going into tonight?
Well, it's going to be an awesome atmosphere in here tonight, Christine, for this game between the Celtics and Thunder. As you said, very well could be an NBA Finals preview. And Drew Holiday this morning said that every game that the Celtics play in, they try to take something out of and learn from. And you look over the past 2 weeks, the Celtics have had a 7-game homestand that wraps up today, and they've played 5 of the best teams in the league. The Thunder tonight, and previously the Cavs, the Nuggets, the Knicks, and the Lakers. And what did we learn about the Celtics over those 2 weeks? They led each of those 4 games by at least 20 points, and outside of a late collapse against the Cavs, won the other 3, and showed, as they did last year throughout the season when they cruised to the NBA title, that when they play at their best and they have their fastball, there's really not anybody in the league that so far has been able to stand up to them. Now, back in January, the Celtics were in Oklahoma City. They led it by 10 at halftime against the Thunder. Oklahoma City held them down to just 27 points in the second half of that game, blew them out in the second half and won. Celtics would love to flip that around and win tonight on their home court and prove that the last couple of weeks have showed they're the team to beat once again in the NBA.
Right. It should be a really good matchup. Obviously, a lot of people looking forward to it, but there are 3 key injuries affecting both the Thunder and the Celtics going into tonight. So let's start with Jalen Williams, his right hip. What is the latest on OKC's young star?
Yeah, Christine, Jalen Williams suffered that right hip strain in Monday's loss to the Denver Nuggets, the second game of a back-to-back against the Nuggets, and did not make the trip here to Boston and will probably not be on the trip with the team, according to Thunder coach Mark Daigneault. He's going to stay back in Oklahoma City, get some rehab on that hip, and try to be out for a minimal amount of time. Obviously, Oklahoma City would love to have their second playmaker back on the court as soon as possible. Now, Kristaps Porzingis on Monday tweeted that the viral illness that's kept him out for the past several games is something the Celtics have not been able to fully identify what it is. And obviously, that's a concern. The Celtics would love to get Porzingis back on the court and healthy. However, he did go through some stuff at shoot-around this morning, and we'll see if he's able to get back out on the court tonight against Chet Holmgren and the Thunder. And as for Jason Tatum, he's been dealing off and on with tendinopathy in his right knee. However, Tatum is one of the most durable stars in the league. He's only missed 5 games this season, and while he's questionable for tonight, I think it's safe to say he's going to do everything he can to be out there in that matchup, as you said, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 of the leading contenders for this year's MVP award. And one other note, Christine, Alex Caruso missed shoot-around this morning for the Thunder with an illness. Did not come to shoot-around. We'll see if he's able to go tonight as well.
All right, it should be a really good matchup. Can't wait to watch it. Tim Bontemps, thank you so much.
For more on tonight's matchup, let's bring in our senior NBA writer, Brian Windhorst. And Wendy, the basketball gods have given us a gift tonight. The first meeting between the Thunder and the Celtics, it was highly intense physical matchup. What will you be paying attention to the closest in this rematch?
This is going to really stress, I think, the Thunder defense. And normally you don't hear that because they've been the #1 defensive team throughout the entire season. At times they've been historically good. But over the last 10 games, and really ever since the All-Star break, but over the last 10 games, they have not had the same defensive level they did before. They ranked 17th in the league in the last 10 games. Now, look, some of it is just some variance. On Monday night, for example, they go up 140 points almost to the Nuggets. The Nuggets had one of their best shooting games in 40 years. That said, they've had some slippage. And as Tim Bontemps just told you, no Jalen Williams tonight. That is the second leading scorer for the Thunder. They have nobody else on their roster after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander now that averages more than 14 points a game. So they're going to need to hold some of that Celtics offensive firepower down. 92 points is what they gave up the last time they played. They're going to give up more than that tonight, but they can't turn this into a shootout. They've got to play the defense that got them to this sparkling 21-1 record against the East earlier in the season.
Yeah, you talk about that Thunder defense. They held the Celtics to season lows in three-point percentage and overall field goal percentage back in January. Meanwhile, Nuggets Timberwolves is the second game of tonight's doubleheader on ESPN. Nikola Jokic's impressive numbers drawing a lot of attention. However, what's not getting enough attention leading into this matchup?
Yeah, obviously Jokic is red hot. He's actually talking a modicum of trash about trying to get the MVP. But let's focus on the other team. The Minnesota Timberwolves have won 5 straight games. And this is a team that was banged up for a couple of months, was missing 3 starters for a stretch. They're back healthy. And so now they have a team that is really, this group has done very well. Julius Randle, even though he's not having a dynamic season like he's had in the past, they've won the last 10 games. Julius Randle's been in the lineup, and he will be in the lineup tonight. And we know that the Timberwolves have had great success against the Nuggets over the last couple of seasons. They are in 7th place right now. They are only 1 game back of the streaking Warriors in 6th to get out of the play-in. And a bunch of the teams in front of those two have injuries, whether it's the Lakers and LeBron James, the Nuggets not having Aaron Gordon tonight, no Amen Thompson, no Jaren Jackson for the Grizzlies. This is an opportunity for them to make a run. And after this game, they go to a 5-game homestand.
Yeah, dating back to last season's West semis, the Timberwolves have won 4 straight games against the Nuggets. Wendy, with the latest. Thanks so much.
Still ahead on SportsCenter, we're not done in Boston. We'll head back there ahead of Thunder Celtics.
Between Boston and OKC, SGA leading the team with 33 points per game and 6 assists, but there's still work to be done. What will it take for the Thunder to reach the same level of success as the Celtics? Chet Holmgren answers that question. It's new on SportsCenter.
The number one thing is the intensity and the attention to detail that it takes to get there. It doesn't happen by accident. None of these teams, who have done what we're trying to do, got there by accident. There was a lot of intention in every little detail, and they learned from every little mistake, and that's what we have to do too.
Coming to us from TD Garden is Hall of Fame NBA reporter Mark J. Spears. And Mark, you were present for shoot-around this morning with OKC. What are they saying about their approach to this game against Boston?
Well, laid-back Thunder coach Mark Danegold actually isn't a guy that you think of about being turned up. But he said he was super excited about this game, not only for himself, but for his team. And he noticed an extra juice from his team this morning. He's actually about an hour west of here from that town that you love, Leominster. So he said that last Saturday, though, he paid close attention to how excited the Celtics were to play against the Lakers. He expects that same energy from the Celtics tonight against them and the same energy from his team back. I talked to Lou Dort. He said this is a good test for his team. And he said he's excited and expecting a lot of fun in what could be a potential finals matchup.
Yeah, a lot of excitement surrounding this matchup. And SGA has been the MVP frontrunner all season long. However, Nikola Jokic has been making some noise as of late. What can you share about SGA's campaign for MVP?
Well, if you look at Denver, Mike Malone, man, he's beating the drum like Questlove. Whereas, Danegold and the Thunder, they're more like a Tony, quiet, slow groove about this. They're not making a lot of noise. They said SGA doesn't want the attention. The franchise doesn't want the attention. They want the attention to just be on basketball. And I tend to believe them because when SGA scored 54 on January 22nd, Dylan Jones, his teammate, tried to give him the game ball, and SGA didn't want it. He cared about the win. I asked Lou Dort about this, and he said that, hey, SGA is certainly a great candidate because he's done well on both ends of the floor. Think about what he said right there, on both ends of the floor. Think about that. But I asked him, I said, does SGA care about the war? He said, I don't know, but if I was him, I would.
Yeah, no, I heard SGA just a couple of days ago talking about wanting that MVP award, but it means nothing if OKC is not out there winning on the court. Should be a great matchup tonight. Enjoy it. I'm a little bit jealous, Mark, that you're going to be out there, but I'm sure you'll have a good time.
Hey, it ain't that far a drive. Come on.
Maybe I will take the drive.